There we go. So this meditation is devised by Tara Brach. Tara Brach is a meditation teacher, a Buddhist meditation teacher, and she's also a psychologist with a long history of teaching. And what she did was devise this meditation technique, and it's called the R.A.I.N technique, like what's falling from the sky right now. And it's an acronym, R.A.I.N, with 4 different stages or parts of the meditation. So first off, you might just make sure you're comfortable physically. I've got a little pillow underneath my, just the very edge of my pelvis, and I've also got something that I can lean up against. I'm just letting people in as we go here. So you're just making sure that you're very comfortable. This meditation will only go for 5 or so minutes, and we can use this meditation to hone in on something that might be a little bit challenging. So there might be a person in your life that's a bit challenging at the moment. You might have a decision that you've got to make. There might be something that someone said today that's really irking you, and you can use this meditation directed towards that. Or you can just simply move through the meditation as it is. So feel free to close your eyes, or you might even like keep them slightly open if closing your eyes doesn't feel right for you. And just starting to tune into the breath. So if that feels a little difficult, you might just notice the parts of you that might be moving with the breath, or wherever you can feel sensations with the breath. So you might feel the breath move up and down the inner walls of the throat. I'm just starting to tune into the breath, getting a little bit quiet, almost using this as an entry into your internal world. Even though there might be things going on around you, you might be able to hear noises in the room, in the house. See if you can still tune in as best you can into your internal world. And then we'll begin with the first letter of R.A.I.N, R. So this R stands for recognize, and we're going to be recognizing what's going on for us right now. And that might even be this problem or challenge or person. And when we recognize, the temptation might be that we go into criticism, judgment, or even into a story around this thing or person that might have happened. See if you can just back from the story and just recognize that this in its simplicity is an issue for you. Or you might even just sit with what is today. If maybe everything's great, everything feels fine, and maybe you might just sit with the body as it is, recognize the breath, recognize this seated position, recognize this moment, recognize this body in this day. Otherwise, you're just simply recognizing this issue. And then we'll start to move on to the A of R.A.I.N, and the A stands for allow. So often when we have some kind of an issue, we tend to resist, and resistance will almost always make things a lot worse. So can we allow, not in the way that we might be in danger and just let it all happen to us, but allow this thing to be as it is, allow this challenge to be as it is. Of course, we keep ourselves safe, but we try not to resist it. And we try again not to add other things to it as well. In Buddhism, it's called the second arrow. So I might have an issue, say, with what somebody said to me. That's what I'm recognizing, that was said. I'm allowing the hurt that might arise because of it. But what I don't want to do is a second arrow and start going, well, I must be no good because I'm letting this thing get to me. That's adding something to it. So we're just trying to keep this issue or person or whatever as simple as possible and allow these feelings to arise. So you might even notice that there's something in your body. It might be feeling like pressure on the chest, or your stomach's all churned up. Again, we're just allowing these things to be without having a sense that we've sort of got to make it right, okay, or make it go away really quickly, or resist, or get angry. Just allowing, knowing that this is part of the human experience. And then we'll move on to the I in R.A.I.N, which is to investigate. And this is where this is something that we do without judgment. So it's not an invitation to criticize. We do this without judgment. And when we investigate, sometimes it's good to start with the body. So where you might feel this thing that happened or this person, you might actually feel it in the body, just like I said before, a tightness in the chest, or the belly might feel like it's churning, or you might have a pain in the neck. You might even start to notice the exact location in the body, almost like you're tracing a line around where it is in your body. So we just keep all of this really simple. It might feel hot or cold. There's no right or wrong. There might be a certain colour associated with it. It might be moving a little bit in the body. You might have a sense of light and dark. You might take this a little further and ask whether there's a lesson that you could be learning from this, whether this issue or problem or person has a message for you. Maybe the message is that you need a boundary. And again, this is all done without judgment. You're being the kindest friend and the most patient friend that you can be to yourself. And so just spending another couple of moments just investigating these questions, or investigating how your body feels as you consider whatever it is that you chose to recognize at the beginning. And then when you're ready, we'll move on to N. So N stands for nurture. And so what we want to do is to send some love back to ourselves. You might even congratulate yourself that you've taken some time to work through this issue in this way. So we're always doing this with patience, with kindness, in the most nourishing way possible. And always in the knowledge that we're imperfect and that that's really our job, to be imperfect like this, to be learning, to be courageously putting ourselves on the line in times of stress and challenge. And so when you're ready, you might start to open the eyes gently. And you might even consider what might have occurred to you in this practice. And if you'd like to share, you might even consider what it is that occurred to you, or even that there might have been a message, or maybe even an action step that you can take to help alleviate this issue or create a boundary or whatever it is. So I'm just going to pause the recording for a moment